next segment, we're going to talk about like MJF and Chris Jericho. We had this awesome segment from MJF. I mean, when is he not good in any segment? I mean, he's just delivers so well. And I love Tony, how he doesn't, he's like, we'll say it as it is, whether it be with the DMD, whether it be with, he's obviously very vocal with MJF, very vocal about Don Callis, very vocal about the heels. And he didn't hold back. He's saying the most despicable human he's ever been around. And if for those of you who caught it, you know, MJF and I have a kind of a common denominator there, that Jericho is on both of our Mount Rushmores. And so I liked how he brought that one up for sure. But and also doing that cross comparison with Muhammad Ali. I mean, the way he can just, you know, deliver his promos and deliver like those comparisons like that and bring in the history and all that. Smart. I mean, he's very smart. I mean, we got to give him props where props are due. We can appreciate it. But he is very, very smart heel and very, very smart delivery. And I've never seen him once flub up. And this was home run.
Yeah, man, I completely agree. He went out there and eviscerated Chris Jericho in a lot of ways. He said a lot of really interesting stuff that was true as well. Like, you know, hey, man, you're already the GOAT, but I'm going to go out there and take your spot. You know, he's already 3-0 against him. You retire Chris Jericho, that makes you a legend. And he knows that, man. And he understands, like, hey, you know, he understands the stakes, and he's trying to get him in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because this segment, there's a lot of back and forth segments between Jericho and MJF tonight, which is cool. I thought it was stories. Yeah, it's one of those stories, and I think this one was given just as much respect as the Punk and Allen one. I think Jericho's response later in the night to MJF was amazing. You could hear his voice, how emotional he was getting when he was talking about how much he appreciates the fans and for letting him live his dream. And so it was just a really cool. There's a really cool like back and forth between these guys where Jericho is already that legend, and we all see it with MJF. We understand, you know, the talent that this guy has, at least in terms of getting us riled up as fans. And he can just like. He's a wordsmith. There's guys there's not very many people like him.
Fans try to attack him.
Yeah, fans literally jump the barricade to try to attack him.
And other fans will pay $500 for an insult.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. So we know what this guy is, man. And like, that's why it's so interesting, because it could go so many different ways. And that's why the selling of this, like Jericho was basically in tears saying like, oh man, like thanks for letting a kid live out his dream kind of thing to the fans. It felt like a send off. But it's like when it feels like it's going to go a certain way in AEW, it doesn't. Yep. So that's why I'm like, oh man, you know, they could really extend this, and Jericho can still go. That's the difference, man. Like, if he wasn't able to go, if his matches were still like weren't as good as they are, then I would be like, man, you know, I'm ready for it, but I'm not ready for it. Even though I predicted it, I'm not ready for Chris Jericho to be done. I don't want that.
Thank you, Bonds.
You know, personally, I love Chris Jericho. He's one of my favorites. He's not my Mount Rushmore, but he's right there. You know, and he's right up there for me. And I've been one of my favorites since I was a kid. So I'm
curious of how you guys are going to book this. When our preview show that we're going to have Saturday night, I'm curious of how you guys. This is the most intrigued. I'm curious of how you guys you feel about this. You know,
out on the line.
A lot is on the line.
And Jericho, I mean, his response,
especially you, Bonds.
Yeah, I mean, his response was, you know, it got me when he was saying like, I don't want it to be done.
No,
I don't want it to be over.
You felt for him big time.
Yeah, you did. And you know, to me, MJF, I'm team heel for life, baby. MJF's promo work. It's like watching one of like a phenomenal Hollywood actor. The way that I mean, yes, you guys absolutely, you hit the nail on the head. The man is intelligent. He's a wordsmith. He's creative, and he knows how to craft a promo that will pay homage and respect to his opponent while also ripping them apart. A beautiful talent, right? But even on a different level, just from watching how this man knows where the camera is going to be.
It's delivery.
Just
delivery.
His overall,
so smooth.
His overall delivery, his poise, the way that he's in full command of every segment that he's in. And SPD, that's why you said it. It never feels like this kid flubs. It never feels like a segment with MJF. It never feels like a segment with MJF is going to go off the rails ever. And tonight was an example. He had a sit-down interview, obviously, but there were some camera cuts and different angles, and you watch this man know exactly where he needs to be looking at every single time. He's absolutely just a perfect entertainer, and it's no wonder why he's gotten recognized outside of the wrestling business
New York
for
Times,
being
right?
as talented as he is. I know it's painful to say this guy. We would love to sit here and just say this guy's the drizzling shits, but he's not. He is every bit as good as he says he is, and it's a tough pill to swallow to think that this is the guy that could end the legacy of Jericho. The closer I get to it, the more I don't want to see it to happen, because I was okay with that. I was really okay with it.
Yeah.
But the closer we get, because I wanted to see you cry it all out. I wanted to see those tears.
There'll be different tears shed at different times.
I have a feeling that that Jericho's gonna get this. He's gonna pull it out, man. I'm really excited to see it.